and documented. We will supply you with those documents. As bizarre as that is, I would say that weather wars, and this is quoting actually Senator Claiborne Pell himself, that they are the greatest weapon ever created in the world, and that's the Senator's own statement. So yes, I do stand on that.
Thank you, Mr.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Weather is the biggest weapon that we face right now, and we got a bunch of madmen that are got their hands on the controls. Anyway, welcome in, welcome back. You're here on Above Ground World News, and we are live. This new streaming that YouTube brought out, they also brought out a bunch of little new rules that we got to go by. But there's no way for me even to share this video out from the broadcast center that I can find. Anyway, let's jump into this. We got so much stuff to get into tonight. Here we go. Mysterious of the circular cloud over Colorado solved. Yeah, we'll see about that. A circular jet contrail appeared over Colorado on Friday. It's come out December 7th. Leadville, Colorado. Several 9 News viewers sent in photos of the mysterious-looking circle-shaped cloud on Friday. It was seen by mountain residents from Aspen to Leadville. At least it wasn't the penis-shaped chemtrail that they've done several times, or the figure eights. The cloud is called a condensation trail or contrail. No, it's a chemtrail. It is caused by warm exhaust from jet airplanes mixing with the cold atmosphere at a very high level cirrus cloud, which explains why it's seen in so many different locations. It was also fairly long lasting. When there is more humidity in the upper air, jet contrails will last longer. There was a storm system just starting to move in Friday that was bringing the added moisture in with it. If this low humidity in the upper air, contrails will be short-lived or may not even form at all. Man, this is such BS right here. Let's see what we got here. One ring to rule them out. Turns out nothing mystical about this ring seen over western Colorado on the GOES imagery. It was a circular shaped cirrus contrail formed when the airplane circled over the Grand Mesa on its way to Utah. Well, I got more to show you than that thing. You know, they always explain it, you know, that's a nothing booger right there. So I'm going to get into some stuff here, and hopefully I brought them pictures up. And hang on just a second here. Let me bring, we got so much to get into. I'll show the pictures later. Now, when they call these things, these contrails, now there's actual sprayers that are mounted on the wingtips, on the bodies of the plane. You see in our, when we play the outro song, of them even dangling hoses out of the back of the plane, dumping chemicals out of the C-130s out of the back of the plane. And then also I've showed you that the jet fuel that they use is doped up. It's doped up with super high levels of aluminum, barium, strontium, titanium, and all these different elements. So it's a double whammy. Anyway, check this out. This just come out. Oh, this come out back in August. Bacteria feeding on Arctic algae blooms can seed clouds. Washington, new research finds that Arctic ocean currents and storms are moving bacteria from the algae blooms onto the atmosphere, where the particles help clouds form. These particles, which are biological in origin, can affect weather patterns throughout the world. According to the new study, particles suspended in the air called aerosols can sometimes accelerate ice crystals formation in clouds, impacting weather, climate, and weather patterns. Such ice nucleating particles include dust, smoke, pollen, fungi, bacteria. Previous research had shown marine bacteria were seeding clouds in the Arctic, but how they got there from the ocean in the clouds is a mystery. Well, I can think of one thing, something we went over pretty heavy last night. That's the bunker fuel, the ships. The algae bloom gets on the bottom of the ships and kind of stirs up and then mixes in with the wind and the ocean spray, and that's one way to get it up there. How about the seawater salination? In the new study, the researchers took samples of the water and air at the Bering Strait, right where they're putting in the One World Railway, and tested the samples for the presence of biological ice nucleating particles. Bacteria normally found near the seafloor was present in the air. That's pretty crazy. Above the ocean surface, suggesting ocean currents and turmoil make bacteria airborne. Oceanic currents and weather systems brought bacteria feeding off the algae blooms to the sea spray above the ocean surface, helping to seed clouds in the atmosphere. This is according to new research. Now, I'm not going to read the whole thing. I will paste the links into the comment section. And I'll try to do it here in a little bit. If I play a clip later or something, I'll do it then. I've already got them all saved. So here we go. Now we got biological stuff. We already know we have the nanoparticulates and all that stuff floating around up there. Fukushima stuff. And then here's just a couple companies I wanted to go over. The DRI Cloud Seeding Research Program. This is the Desert Research Institute. But look. They're seeding for snow. During the early 1960s, scientists from the Desert Research Institute helped pioneer the science of wintertime cloud seeding, developing research-based methods for increasing winter snowpack, subsequent snow melt runoff across the mountainous region of the western U.S. Since the DRI Cloud Seeding Research Program early days, our team of experts have conducted continuous research. Hey, thanks out there, chat. I'm not going to read all this one either. We got too much to go into. Here's a map of the DRI's Nevada cloud seeding sites for the winter of 2018 through 2019. We can see they were engineering the skies in Santa Rosa Mountains, Ruby Mountains, Las Vegas, Mount Charleston, Walker, Tahoe, Reno, so all over the Sahara, Nevada. And this is just one of hundreds of companies that are cloud seeding our skies. Also, unmanned cloud seeding realized beyond visual line of sight. They're talking about the drones, the American Sovereign, unmanned fixed-wing aircraft during its historic 28 nautical mile BV lost flight on Wednesday back in 2017. And that's why I always say, man, we have drones up there, many different kinds of drones. We got aircraft with retrofitted nozzles. We have doped up jet fuel, and then we also have the ships. We have the ground-based cloud ionizers, space-based weapons. It all goes together. Now, this just came out on December 5th. The Cheyenne Board of Public Utilities Partners for Cloud Seeding Program. So, out of Wyoming, we got Mike Decker out here. He's filming these guys all the time. At the Cheyenne's regional airport, a King Air B-200 aircraft is ready for the state of Wyoming's airborne cloud seeding project to take off. This unique aircraft, outfitted with flare racks and the ability to de-ice in flight, is scheduled to help increase snowpack in the targeted remote areas of the Sahara and Medicine Bow Mountains. So this stuff is going on, man. You'll find out that the U.S. Department of Agriculture, the power companies, they're all doing it. Here's another company, the Weather Modification Association. Here's where you can find out all the stuff they do. They even have a project worldwide map. Let me see if I can click on this. May not be able to. I got so many tabs up right now, I'm surprised it's even running. You got to look them up by project names. So let's just look under the program type. They have rain enhancement, hail suppression, snowpack augmentation, fog dispersion. So here's just a few of the projects that they did. We got a few down here in Texas, down in Mexico, New Mexico, Los Angeles, cloud seeding right over Los Angeles, Utah, Colorado, Idaho, Wyoming, North Dakota, South Dakota. These are just from this year. We also had the geophysical research letters. This come out on December 3rd this year. Stratospheric sulfate aerosols geoengineering could alter the high latitude seasonal cycle. You know why all these propaganda news companies are pushing the global warming, pushing the climate change? They don't even talk about the grand solar minimum and the changes that the sun has on the weather. They don't talk about any of that. They don't talk about any of this. This is the true stuff. The GR atmospheres, a global survey of apparent aerosol cloud interaction signals. This has been peer reviewed. And they use a wide variety of satellite data, satellite observations processed through a model to investigate whether we can see at global scales evidence of aerosols affecting clouds, quantities associated with them, such as precipitation and the amount of radiation they reflect or emit. All they got to tune into is above ground world news every night, and we have the evidence every single night. You also got the North American Weather Consultants Incorporated, which they do snowfall and rainfall augmentation, fog seeding, fog dissipation. Have you ever heard of fog seeding? So this is pretty nuts, man. I didn't even know that I've heard of the fog dissipation, but I didn't hear the fog seeding. So there's two primary fog types, warm and cold fog. These fog types are differentiated by the temperature, with warm fog occurring at about 32 Fahrenheit or above. The cold fog temperatures below 32. Both types are composed of water droplets. Warm fog is more common of the two in the most parts of the world. Microphysically stable and difficult to modify, but cold fog, on the other hand, is unstable and can be modified more easily via fog seeding. So there you go. Airborne cloud physics. So this company offers a lot of different things. Like I said, I'll have all these links in the description or in the posted at the top. If you're here on YouTube, the main channel. Now, if you're over on Facebook, Twitch, DLive, Float, you'll have to come over to the main YouTube channel to get the links. So we had a bunch of birds falling out of the sky again. This is kind of over in the UK region. Mystery is hundreds of birds found dead in the roadway. Now what happened is this couple was driving up the road. They seen the birds flying all around. They returned about an hour later and they were all dead. Several articles coming out about this. Police say mystery mass bird death phenomenon may have happened before on the island in the exact same spot. They never did figure out what was wrong the first time. They've sent some of these off to the toxicology. I'm thinking, you know, it's one of many of the weapons. Could have been the next rad. Could have been microwaves. I mean, so many things could have went on. So that's tons of articles on that. Now we finally had some rain. This is the storm I was talking about the other day. Why did I not get this rain down, at least in the northern part of Australia? Well, apparently they clipped off a little bit of it. Brisbane smashed by 6 months of rain in a single hour. More than 100 millimeters of rain fell on Brisbane in 1 hour last night, flooding streets, cutting power. Forecasters say more could be on the way. You know, they can easily steer the rain to put the fires out. But see, they want the fires to burn. I got more damning evidence on that. And we'll get into that here in a little bit. Brisbane smash and powerful thunderstorm just come out 4 hours ago. So 2,000 homes lost power from the storm. Breaking news. Prime Minister Scott Morrison says there has already been 5 medical evacuations from the New Zealand, 2 hospitals in Australia in the wake of the volcano disaster. Another 7 Australians. Oh man, it disappeared on me. Anyway, here's a picture of some of the fire stuff that's going on. And I want you to look at this picture very closely. And hopefully you guys can see it. Look at the grass. Look at the pool. It's all green. It's all green around here. The trees do not look singed, but the house is completely gone. You don't even see the ash in the pool. I can't tell if there's water in there or if it's empty and that's just the blue sides of the water. Where, you know, how does the house burn down but nothing around it is burning? Just the house. Just had a 5.1 quake go off in Greece. Now this is pretty disgusting here. You know, with the fire so bad down in Australia, let's just go take a quick look at them right now. At what they're looking at right now. I think they're going to try to burn the city of Sydney up. So this is some of the smoke coming off the fires right now down in Australia. But this, you know, I talk about how they cut the volunteer firefighters by 75% before the fires started. Now look at this. The firefighters crowdfunding upgraded face masks amid claims RF gear is insufficient. So the volunteer firefighters have used Facebook to raise money to buy their own face masks, but the rural fire service said crews should already have the equipment they need. Central Coast and Ingleside and cities north are among the several brigades that have started grassroots campaigns appealing for funds to buy good face masks. The Central Coast crew said they're horrified they had to use RFS issued P2 grade dust masks, which they claim do not offer significant protection. The Rural Fire Brigade Treasurer Joe Arena wrote on Facebook that they were fundraising to buy 8 masks. He said the crew was completely exhausted from the battling the mega fire blazing in the Hawkesbury Central Coast over the past 2 weeks. In defiance to RFS, these are unprecedented conditions on a scale no one could have anticipated. We have no choice but to go out and fight fire with what we have. The campaign argued they have nothing but a P2 dust mask to protect their lungs when standing right next to the fires. The mask costs about $135 to fit each firefighter with a professional quality respirator and their ongoing costs associated with the certification. The RFS said P2 masks are currently the safest method of protection and that the P3 mask could even make breathing more difficult while fighting fires. The RFS said P2 masks are certified, tested rigorously. The RFS spokesman said crews should raise their concerns with their district if they feel they do not have adequate supplies. Get the guys some good masks. You know, here's the other thing. Why is there not other countries sending down extra firefighters to put the damn fires out? Just another point that they want this to burn. They want it to burn, or you would have international help going down here to help these guys. You know, it goes so deep too. You know, there's most of their water is being sold to China, which I think I have a few articles on that. We have a recall, or not really a recall. We have 27,000 chickens to be culled after the bird flu detected on a farm. You know, we're seeing this every day. And we know that they're trying to make this flu. They want to make this flu. We covered this the other day to where it can spread to people. No kidding. You got a couple of scientists, one from America, I think one was from Brazil, and they did halt the tests that they were doing for a while, but then they started letting them test again. They're trying to make this where the bird flu can get to people. Now, there was something here. Now what they're saying is the bushfires could cripple forest ability to reabsorb carbon dioxide, the scientists say, which would be a nightmare scenario for decades. A lot of this is propaganda. So here's some news about the water. So water restrictions for you, an endless supply for them. How a foreign corporation giant is snapping up 89 billion liters of Australians H2O as the country suffers its worst drought ever. A multi-million-dollar Singapore food company is selling 89,000 megaliters of Australian water to a Canadian pension fund. The mega sale of the Australian permanent water rights comes as the country is crippled by one of the worst droughts in history. Take care of your people. So, I mean, the news coming out here is just straight up New World Order agenda, man. It's Agenda 21, Agenda 2030. New drought declarations across 8 Queensland region as the state's crisis deepens. 67% of Queensland is now drought declared. So, I mean, it's really bad. Why don't they call David Miles up and let him make it rain? You have one of the biggest weather modification guys that can steer the atmospheric river that lives down here. In fact, he does some work for the farmers that are willing to pay. See, that's how they want to monetize all the water in the sky, man. That's what they're doing. And then, we talked about the wave weapon that was going to hit the UK. We gave, several days warning. We warned about the storm. And here we go. Shocking moment. Semis are getting toppled over, crushes a police car. Cranes collapsing on the buildings. Downpour caused flash floods despite forecasters predicting UK will avoid the storm. Well, they didn't. We seen it going there. We warned them. Why can the forecasters not forecast? So, pretty nuts, man. Just goes to show you they're just little sock puppets reading the script. Thousands of protests in Sydney, emergency rally demanding climate change interaction. People gotta know what they're protesting. They're gonna call it climate change. Now it's climate change interaction. How about talking about the bunker fuels that are being deployed off your coast? How about the aerosols that are being deployed above your skies, creating a thermite substance that's making these fires burn hotter? Then along with the airliners with the doped up jet fuel, same thing. The people don't even know the real protest, what should be being protest. And it's because of this, the Soros people. I can't even say nothing about this, because if I do, you know, this is one of the things that we weren't supposed to talk about. You know, they'll say it's bullying or harassment, and we know these people are funded by Soros and all them, you know, and they kind of look like that, you know. Hopefully you guys can see that, but they're the same. They're one and the same, man. All right, I better get off this article before they shut us down. Oh, man, I left that up. That's some funny stuff right there. All right, I got a few more articles here. I got to get them over into this, and then we'll start jumping into the maps. I mean, like, I couldn't even hold all these up into one area. Like, here's another article. This just come out 43 minutes ago. Water restrictions for you. End of supply for them. You know, they're buying up the water. That looks like the same article. You know, here's an interesting photo. This is the Yanchep fire glow. Smoke in the orange glow from the flames. Seen from the homes. What is this triangle? What is this triangle? You got the sun or the moon up here. You can't even tell what it is. But what is this V-shaped craft in the sky? You know, they don't put these are in here for a reason. These are like little hints. What is that? Who is it? Deadly heat wave warning for Perth on the eve of the first test between Australia and New Zealand. So the health department has issued a heat wave warning for Perth for the first time since 2016 as the city braces for a run of record-breaking heat until Sunday. You know, it's just it's really bad what's going on out here. Pray for the people down here, because they are definitely being attacked. In fact, I know there's more. This was 21 hours ago. Now it's way more than 724 homes have been burnt. 2.7 million hectares have burned. It's actually way more than that now. They're still saying at this time 40 uncontained. It's burning all around the city of Sydney. And then here's the rivers completely stop flowing because they're in such a drought. So here's one of the rivers, the mighty Manning River ceases to flow. This comes out today, or actually yesterday. And what was this? Oh, we also have water, a human right, Detroit demonstrators say. So you got people up in Detroit, Michigan saying, you know, water is a right, and I agree. It should be a human right regardless. Now, I don't know about this article. I didn't get to vet this article. I don't know about the sun here in the UK, but what they're saying, holy hell, over 15,000 huge seafloor holes have mysteriously appeared off the California coast, and no one knows why. This come out today. Thousands of strange round holes scooped out of the ocean floor have been uncovered along the coast of California. Some measure nearly 600 feet across, but scientists are unsure how they formed. Now that's pretty nuts with all the hot spots that we've seen going on over here. All the seismic activity, all the methane leaking up out of the ocean. The black tar leaking up from underneath the roads. You had there the big earthquake that happened at the military base where the whole ground dropped like 40 centimeters, like in a huge area. Big methane leaks, especially back the one we covered back in 2015, 2016. So just pretty crazy stuff going on, guys. So anyway, let me get out of that one, and let me copy that link, because I don't know if I copied that one for the post, and you guys can go over that, check it out here. Let me put this in so that I can post it into the comments. Better save it. Yeah, they've definitely caused the water shortage on purpose. Yeah, Washington's been getting hammered with the aerosols. In fact, we can go ahead and jump on over here to the worldview map, and let's check out some of the aerosols that are being deployed. I guess we'll just start down here by New Zealand, where the earthquakes and the volcanoes are going off. And guess what? They are spraying chemicals right over the volcano. We got aerosols down here being deployed. Try to find a good. So that's probably going to be our best one to start out with. We'll just start out with this layer. Also, you know, right between the islands, aerosols being deployed down here in the Christchurch area. They're always a big target. And I'm trying to find a really good layer that looks pretty early there. Let's see what this one is. So a lot of these layers I don't have loaded. So yeah, man, you got a definite aerosols being deployed always over the Christchurch area. They are definitely a target all the time. And we can see, you know, once we scroll up here and around, we can just look around, and then you can actually see when the flights first start. And they're doing the little segmented spraying, the long sprays, the X patterns. Here's some more heavy ones already. See, a lot of these are already drifting out from when the image was took. But you see the synthetic color of the clouds. They're not regular clouds. Now we have a still rain, another storm here off the Horn of Africa. Or no, this is the other model that could have brought the rain in. And I haven't looked to see if there's any bunker fuel down here. Let's just check real quick. And I'm not seeing anything just right off the bat. All right, let's go on up here. Japan. We did have, yeah, we still do. We got aerosols going over Japan. I mean, it's real heavy spraying. Let me check these layers, because I know it looked worse than that earlier. In fact, we got a major spraying operation in a place we normally don't get spraying operations. Guess where? Now, remember, I've been talking about how they're seeding these clouds right over the Sahara Desert. They've been doing it for over 2 weeks now in the exact same areas. And then check out right here in Israel. They only have been sprayed. This will be the 5th time the whole year. I mean, only getting sprayed 5 times in a year is just unbelievable. So we got X patterns going on. Long straight ones up. We got another anomaly right here. We keep finding these weird anomalies here and there. There's another one. What are these things? So big liners, man. Look at this liner right here. It's already drifting out. You're covering the whole sea right here. In fact, it starts out right here. Actually, it starts out back. Hold on, let me back this out. I mean, that's a huge aerosol dump, seeding the sky, seeding this whole ocean here. The Mediterranean Sea. We go up here around Beirut, Lebanon. Another spraying operation to the north. But definitely It's flooding right now in Israel. This is weather warfare. Remember yesterday they were spraying really bad off the coast of Portugal? The operations have moved south. So they're spraying the south side, but take a look over here. Right in the middle of the Mediterranean Sea, it's gotten really thick. Then you go up here to the Adriatic Sea, or the whatever this one is. Look at this spraying. I thought I had this loaded much better. So anyway, if you can see this clear enough, we'll let it load. So we can see right here, man, tons of grid patterns, tic-tac-toes all over. Barcelona's getting waxed. I mean, this is a bunch. This is probably one of the most sprayed spots on the planet right now. All these islands getting smacked down with the synthetic clouds. And we should see, and then it goes all the way up, man. It goes all the way up here. Look at this. The Ligurian Sea. Look at all the little short segmented sprays. That means rain. Look at this big fat liner. This was a X at one time. Now let me pan this out. Look how thick this guy's spray is. That's undeniable. Turned off and on. Now watch what this turns into after a few hours. Look at that. It pulls it right where all the aerosols were being deployed. And we got, you know, another one of these things they call the jet. The jet. Man-made. So yesterday, actually the last 3 days, France has been getting waxed. Now the spraying operations have moved up into the Czech Republic, going up through Poland, and all the way up into Estonia, and probably all the way up. So right now the UK, they just got hit with the man-made storm, the man-affected storms. Netherlands, you're getting hit right now. I know this. These are probably a little bit behind. So yeah, you're still getting clobbered in the Netherlands. Look, you can see these are so targeted, so precise spraying, man. It's a AI program that shuts these sprayers off and on. We exposed that company. And there's a new company called the Sky Grid, and I forgot to bring that link up. I talked about it shortly the other day. It's called Sky Grid. It's a new company out to manage all the drones, the low-level drones. And it's really Skynet, man, but it's called the Sky Grid. All right, just kind of skimming through these till I see something really big. So the central part of the United States right now is getting a one-day break. Completely clear in Missouri, Arkansas clear, Louisiana clear for the first time in weeks, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky all clear, unless they've started some nighttime spraying, which we'll find out here in just a little bit. And it's so cloud covered up here. Remember all the aerosols? I told you where the storm was going to go, where the aerosols were. Look, the Gulf of Mexico. Right in the area they were superseding the sky over the last few days, right over Florida, right up the East Coast. And, you know, created these whole storms. It looks like there's a new operation starting in the west part of Kansas. So yeah, we got new aerosols, segmented sprays, so rain or snow's coming over Oklahoma. See, it's not all the way loaded yet. You got to kind of mess around with these layers to try to pull out, you know, when they're really dropping the lines and it stands out like you can't deny it. You know, wonder why they didn't show the figure eights or the aerosols we found the other day. Check this out. Let me see if they're still here. So this would be yesterday. If I remember right, it was in New Mexico. Just see if I can find that again. It was a couple days ago. I think it was down here in New Mexico. Crazy flight pattern. And I'm going to try to see. I should have wrote the date down. Why is it not loading? Pretty sure it was around this time frame. Anyway, if I can't find that, I got something else to show you. There it is. So right here in New Mexico, you know, they showed the one circle ring. Look at this flight pattern. You come in, big loop-de-loops, tons of loops. This is a part of the weather modifications, albedo enhancement, cloud brightening. Same day. Anyway, this is all the aerosols, and then you see the storms. Let me get it back up into today. All right, so we're back on the 11th. Let me see if there's any bunker fuel on this side. So it appears that all the bunker fuel operations across the whole planet have just instantly stopped after days and weeks of the bunker fuel. We'll see if they're just in getting reloaded. All the spraying operations, except for right in here, stopped down here in the Bajas. Some spraying in Los Angeles, parts of Nevada. We get right here off of Santa Barbara. Los Angeles area, you're getting sprayed right now. Let me see if I got the other layers. Something interesting. Let me see if I can bring this up. Let me see if I can bring this up. These were sent to me, I think, the other day. I also have the picture of the plane. Let me get it up too. Just take me just a second here. All right, so we got this Aircat 068 General Atomics aeronautical plane. You do get the registration number, and that's about it. But let me show you their flight pattern. That's the same kind of planes they use for the cloud seeding operations. So here is his flight path. So he come out of southern part of California, flew down out here and just did, you know, tons of circles. Took off at 1:44 p.m. and didn't land till 5:09 p.m. He was scheduled to land at 4:24. He stayed out here an extra hour circling the low pressure system and sprayed the crap out of this area. So you can always, like, if you see the crazy aerosols that are being deployed above your skies, you can always jump on the Flight 24 radar and try to match it up with the plane that's right above your sky. And a lot of them won't have call signs. They won't have numbers. There'll be a NASA plane. There'll be a military plane. Most of them don't show up on there, but you can catch some of them. So it's pretty crazy that I'm not seeing any bunker fuel operations whatsoever. Now, there might be some here. Let me look. No, man. Still not bringing out any of the bunker fuel operations. So, looks like we're going to get a short break from this super toxic stuff for a few days. Let's go ahead and check the radar. Oh, you know what? I got this on, so let me just turn it on here. We do have, here's the aerosols being deployed from the sky and the drones down here in Southern California. I don't know if I can zoom in on that any better to so you can see it, but you see they start all the way down below the Baja border, and then here's a big long liner going in the northern part of this system. Let's go ahead and go up a little bit. We'll just check a few areas. I should have put the thing on full view so we could have looked. Yeah, they're definitely flooding the desert. They want to flood the desert. They want to turn the desert green. I showed you all the companies that even state that's their goal. So this really is just showing us this aerosol. Let me go ahead and jump over to the east side here, and we'll just look at America and just kind of see what's happening. All right, let's just see what we have. They're cloud seeding over Bermuda, just like I thought. Look, here is all the seeding operations that were over Florida. All this cloud seeding up. You know, so we're going in from this would be this is at today at about 11. So you can see they seeded all out ahead of the storm, into the storm, and now one of the main spraying operations out off the coast of California. So you can pretty much bet it's going to rain over the center of California. Let's go look up into Canada if I can get up in there. It's really hard. Now I know I can get up there higher. So let me try this regional. Yeah, here we go. Let's go look up over Toronto, Quebec area. And we'll just kind of go. I don't get to cover these guys a whole lot. So we're not seeing any from yesterday, really. Well, here comes the new operations right now. They're coming in from the west. Now let's just move over. Let's get over to here. That'll pretty much cover quite a big area. Yeah, here's this spraying operation that we just seen from the other side. I must be zoomed or something because I can't see that. No, I'm good. It's just. All right, we got high level spraying over Washington and Oregon that we didn't pick up on the worldview map. Here's the next low pressure system. So they're seeding out the front north side of that, and then probably in the southern side, which we'll be able to see most likely tomorrow. But yeah, here we go. Here's some right there. Let's just go check the tropical cyclone page. See, we had heavy clouds seeding over East Tennessee Sunday. Yeah, you did. I covered that. Look, all the storms are gone. There's no current active storms. I do want to check the mimic just to see if it's snapping back. See if they're not messing with it. This is what we're looking at, the rivers of the sky. We're using the Morse microwave, and we're like measuring the water vapor up in the troposphere. And a lot of these companies can steer these atmospheric rivers. And that's what we're seeing. That's why we're seeing some major flooding. It looks like this area over here is really calmed down. Look at the water vapor has dropped so far south. It's like surrounding Madagascar, going straight into the Horn of Africa. And normally it's all backed up over India. We can see over here where they're doing the other cloud seeding operations that the whole atmospheric river is dropped down almost right on the equator, where this one's all the way above the equator, and then right back on the equator and drop back down. Looks like they're blocking some of the moisture going into the west coast. Here's that big system going into Europe. So we got that documented pretty good. We got one more thing we'll go over real quick. All right, so let's go ahead and see if they're doing any kind of atmospheric heating events, compression events. And right now we're looking at the winds up in the high up, man. These are the polar vortex winds. And what we look for, we put this on the temperatures. They're pushing the cold air over, guys. Look. Coming right out of Russia, China area. We have a heating event. Even though it's dark up here, this is not from the sun. This is an intentional heating event to push the cold air over to the United States. And this only goes up a couple days, so that's far as I can go. So they're definitely starting the heating event, and that's going to push this colder air over the United States. At least they're going to try. Look, they're heating the whole Antarctica. We had the missing C-130 disappeared right there. I haven't went back to see if there's any updates on that. Let's go ahead and document the jet stream, why we're here. So somehow the jet stream has a huge trough cut out of it. Right here is where they're doing the cloud seeding. Look, they're cloud seeding following the jet stream. This is exactly where they're seeding, and it goes right up the East Coast, right where all the heavy moisture is. The bunker fuel has been right out here. Like I tell you, they're always out here in the high pressure zones, and they split a little bit off, man. They create the troughs, they create the splits in the jet streams. Let's go ahead and go down to the surface winds. Let's go check the oceans. See if we have any more
up through Mexico.
Big time wave patterns coming up. Looks like we got a new one popping up. See, we got a couple new ones. Now this only goes out a couple days, so this one looks like it's going to hit lower, like down in Portugal, Spain. 40-foot waves. Let's see if that'll go up another day. It's going to drop down pretty good, so we're looking at 21-foot seas. Ooh, we got a big one out here by the Aleutian Islands. 42-foot. I don't think we can go up much farther, so that's all. So right now we're not looking too bad. Let me just kind of check down south. That's all pretty good. No big wave warnings put out. The seas, roaring pretty good out here. You're looking at 27-foot, 28-foot waves, going up into 32-foot waves. Let's go ahead and check the sea surface temperature, see if there's any kind of El Nino or La Nina forming. So really, to me, the ocean looks like it's really cooling down. Look, the only hot spots are right up here and now off the north part of Australia. Take that wind off. Here's our heat anomalies. That's a big heat anomaly. This is down where the earthquakes and the volcanoes are going. Let me go back a couple days. I don't remember that being down there. It wasn't. Look, on the very days of the volcanoes, this is the earthquake days, the volcano days. Look at the heat anomaly. That is super high. That's off the chart. Then we have the blob, what they're calling the blob. This is the heating over Alaska. We got a pretty big heating zone. And just something is just lit up over here off the coast of Nova Scotia. Let's go ahead and check the carbon monoxide concentrations. These are all at the surface. Look, it's looking much better. The weird thing, the other day we had a straight line going all the way up into Alberta, BC. Look at the quality down here in Southern California. This is like the only place that's being sprayed right now, and you got really bad air quality. 1,559 parts per billion. Looks like there's maybe some fires. I don't know what is going on down there. Yeah, the air quality. Here's the carbon dioxide just right off the coast there, just up in the green. East Coast looking much better, looking really good. Here's where we know there's fires, fracking. Here's our sulfur. Let's go ahead and check the PM 2.5s. They're still there, man. So these are either fires or something is seeping up from underneath. I mean, when you see a volcano, this is what a volcano looks like. That's what a volcano looks like. And when you see it like this, what is going on here? Let me just see if there's any fires. So it's showing one little hot spot here north of Thousand Oaks, a couple little fires maybe. You got chemtrails. And that's the only fires I'm showing until we get all the way up in Alberta. So we probably got some kind of toxic crap seeping up out of the ground. Or burn-offs, but I mean it's not showing up as heat anomalies though, so that's pretty strange. Let's look at Australia. We know Australia's on fire. Look, we got something going on there in New Zealand. The volcano was right there. All the earthquakes were over here. Let me check this on the yeah, now we can really see by these carbon monoxide, the fires. You got another good one over here on the south. Looks like you have a dust storm right over the center of Australia. All right, so there you go. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and call this show. Hey, thanks out there, Chet. Thanks, brother. Thanks for helping us out, supporting us. Anyway, guys, much love. We're going to see you tomorrow night. Getting super tired. Thanks out there, Jeff. I just seen yours. And all that stuff. Anyway, we're going to play a song called Rise, man. People are going to have to rise. Look at all the protests going on worldwide. If you don't think that's coming to America, think again. Because the division of the right and the left, that's what they want. If they don't get their way with what they're doing right now, then they will start a civil war, man. There's no doubt about it. And that will happen. Anyway, guys, armor up. Make sure you're armored up in different ways. Anyway, guys, much love. We're going to play a song called Rise. And then We'll jump into a couple other songs. I'll come join you in chat. I'll go jump over on D Live, give away the treasure chest. Anyway, guys, much love. Here we go. Crank it up. Wake a neighbor up. Pray for the people down in Australia, over in France, all these places, Hong Kong, all the places that are doing the protests. Because they want to divide and conquer for sure. Anyway, Agenda 21, Agenda 2030, Agenda 2050, look it up. Look up the Georgia Guidestones. Anyway, here we go. Let's rock.